Welcome back to the stream, where I'm hoping to beat Kingdom Hearts 1 today. I mean, not Kingdom Hearts 1. Danganronpa 1. That's my hope, but I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do it. The Ultimate Despair, a group of people who caused a tragedy once years ago. Those same people began broadcasting the Killing Game. The most desperately awful. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now we gotta get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. It's locked, but we have a way to open this door. Kyoko, do you still have that Monokuma secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room? You can open any door in the school, right? And I should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey Kyoko, we can use that key in the door to open this door, right? Let's find out. Yes, it opened, and now we can get out of here. Let's go. It sounds good. Danganronpa. So I'm hoping to beat the game today. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up a chimney. There's a metal ladder leading up the tunnel. Nice upskirt. That was a joke, by the way. The ladder was impossibly long. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped. Hey. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. So, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said that you're the ultimate detective, right? How long have you been doing detective work?
So...
How long? As long as ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There's a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then is your family famous? Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us.
Right.
Because we take pride in it. A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence.
It's true.
A conscious effort. It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet... I give up some of that pride. In order to enter Help's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. It's because that was how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that. Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about. There is something I want to say to him, though. No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. I want to sever all ties with him. The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family.
However...
He had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off with the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument. And as young as I was, he left me behind.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him for leaving me, because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I'd never have the chance to become a detective. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right?
However,
but it's not true. But there's one thing I could never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, I saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl who was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him that we're no longer family. In order to settle the past, I need to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, you just cut him out like that. Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family?
Indeed.
Looks like this is it. On the other side of this door, Pope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back. Right. Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. How would you know that? What? Looks like we're back, but I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Kyoko, thank you. I would have never gotten out of there without you. Nothing's necessary. I was simply returning the favor. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, but if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course. Then let's get a concrete answer.
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping.
However,
if we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out, and it's not like we can run away. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? You think it's gonna happen, is it? Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. You said something about it before. What does it mean? The mastermind is still exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There's a moment when the mastermind let their guard down.
Right.
If you can talk to Monokuma, we can confront it, and it would be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations.
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym. How would you know that? How would you know that, Kiriyuri?
Well now.
Hey. Shoko I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What is he doing here? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you? So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again. And this time I won't leave anything to chance.
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. But before you do, let me just say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? huh? I lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
Because
Well, you set up the latest class trial yourself. I was getting in your way, so you wanted an
in
excuse
other
to kill me.
words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about? But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined in that position one person would protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development, you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No more than that, you must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
however,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your previous execution machinery. You never imagined the possibility that a being could come to our aid even after you killed it. Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did. So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? From that means I lose? You talk a big game. You said the Blackened is me, but not Makoto, and you can prove this, right? No, I can't. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence!
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time
That's
and
right.
guarantee you'll find some. Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type? If Makoto really was the killer, he wouldn't have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you loved to inspire, but here we are coming with hope in our hearts. And that's supposed to be enough to convince me with the absence of evidence? It's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Indeed.
Huh? Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right. Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can just say we're making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. Ah! If you want to know despair fair and square, then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours? Do Mukuro's trial over again, only this time you follow the school regulations to
time
ensure a
for
fair
one
trial.
last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
And despair.
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be possible, it would certainly make for one honey of a
in
climax.
other words,
Does that mean you accept?
guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And I will call you unbearable despair, then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
Barely contain
Let's have one
myself.
final grisly showdown.
Barrett!
But this is a long-awaited climax, right? Guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries. That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do. Let's bear it all. If you can claw your ways to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
Guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all of that, well, face execution. I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me?
Listen to me.
How will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair?
Hey,
Before we get started, I want to clarify one thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is out.
hey,
You don't have to be so suspicious. I said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial from Mukuro was no exception to that. Whoever killed Mukuro. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in hopes peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why did it go quiet all of a sudden?
Now
I'm done talking! I got nothing left to say to you, so get lost, would ya? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone! Get out of here! I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still have my life and we still had a chance. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt.
However,
Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have now is thanks to you. Don't take me out. The true battle's ahead of us, but still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't even sure if the enemy would. Honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand anything to gain from a final showdown. They had no choice but to accept. It's because in that one moment the mastermind let down their guard. So when was it the mastermind let their guard down? Do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast their school lives to the outside world, right? And what do you think when they heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right?
Indeed.
You don't exactly read of like something about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. That kind of thing is very difficult to pull off, and yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it. For some reason, they had to do something that difficult.
So...
They had to show the world something, no matter what cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world. The mastermind has been very adamant not about killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And the rules and regulations were all designed to encourage that. The stupid regulations didn't need us. Nobody would have killed anybody. So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us all kill each other and show that off to the world.
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. To prove a point? The outside world is a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? You're talking about hope, right? And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants to see the world to see that. To try and prove despair is better than hope. That's their goal, is the ultimate despair. What? That's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. That's the kind of thing that no one but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Makoto.
Woo! Despair! Why are you trying to say that? And yeah, that same motivation is like what led to the mastermind revealing their
In
weakness.
other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast the killing game in the world, the mastermind had to be more particular than reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored the rules, it wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least.
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any one of us themselves. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead they tried to use a class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer.
It's
But
true.
even that didn't work. Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who was also not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion. To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form. It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all that was fine, Trey, and you're still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge. Well, it's only thanks to you that I got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. I can't believe how much of the mastermind thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I wouldn't even the slightest clue. Just in the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. This time, I won the bet. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You didn't seem totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I show my uneasiness, that'll make you the more uneasy.
However...
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All that we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time, or everything we've gone through would have been for nothing.
Hey.
But before we get in the final battle, work together with everyone. Is that really possible? Anyway, we have to go find the others. They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? And suddenly we were greeted with... Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit.
However...
I wonder what that was all about. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
Fucking... These guys sent me to my death, and I come back and forgive them, no questions asked.
Survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's the smell? Yeah, man, it seriously stinks. It's Makoto.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion.
Yes.
We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma. Explain? What do you have to explain? But is it okay that you're here? That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. We're gonna redo Mukuro's trial.
How about that?
What's the point of you doing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it! Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you.
I see.
It was all the work of the mastermind. You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro? That's right, it was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it. But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
However...
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules said that only the Blackened can be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed. Didn't you? I recall what you said at the end of last class round. Now you said it's the mastermind that's there. That's what you were referring to. Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later.
About that.
But there's more to it than that. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Anyway...
You probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
I hate you.
You said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us. I meanwhile want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. The only way to survive is to
Interesting.
unravel the truth. One decisive final battle, a rather interesting development, I think. Figuring out who the mastermind is, and how they killed Mukuro, and all the school's mysteries. This time the trial is over. We know who our enemy is now, so I'm sure if we work together and search as hard as we can find something. I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. And work together, that's what I thought too at first. Until that Monokuma gave us that little hint of his.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly
So in
reasonable.
other words,
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school. Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have said disguised the scene like that. But according to Monokuma, the only people who set it to speak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... would have to be one of them. And of those 16 students who started out, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us? You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say that's for true. Monokuma might have said all that to confuse us. It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. But if one of us is the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma. Did anyone see anyone acting suspicious when Monokuma was active?
I'm right, right?
Maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. There's no way you could have all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation.
You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending. So, in the name of fairness, look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock other rooms. The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin the investigation. I was
In the
planning on
name of
working
my
alone
family.
anyway. At this point, I can rely only on myself, on the Tagami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you.
Goodbye.
Each of you must uphold your responsibility. Well then.
Hey.
You're totally useless, so bye. And now she's gone, and you're gonna go off by yourself too. That's right. It just leaves Makoto, Hino, and me. In that case, I'm gonna go by myself
Just
too.
a second.
Wait, but how come? Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Ha 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 ha. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing. I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, but up until now, I haven't really been that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else, except that one time if you hadn't been here, I would have died. That's really nice. What? She literally sent me to my death. She tried to kill me multiple times. So I know I've been mostly useless. So I figure here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll get us out of here. So I'm gonna do it all on my own. Okay, bye.
Indeed.
It's just us two. Indeed. So you're gonna go off on your own too. Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're gonna do our own searches separately, doesn't mean we can't work together.
So then.
Well, I better get going. I got an endless list of things I need to check. Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny of the school. We can visit all the places. No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth by any means necessary. I don't have time to waste. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma's file. Once we find out who killed Mukuro and Kasaba, that the rooms that were locked. The headmaster's room, the bio lab, and the door with Monokuma in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I have to double check the places that are connected to the murder. Let's go check that second floor of the dorms. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it. This is the second floor of the dorms? Like a bomb blew up here or something. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. This is the headmaster's private room. I've been in this room several times, but I still have one little regret, so I decided to check it out one more time. Oh, there's a strange gap in the wall.
So...
There's a gap here. I can feel a breeze coming out. There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Do you mean like a hidden room or something? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some trick or something? A very easy trick. Yes, so easy I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password and the door should open. But I don't have that clue what that password could be. All we know it's made out of letters and numbers. That's not nearly enough to go on. I looked through all this paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I can think of. I learned more than I desired to, but nothing that might have been his password. What do you think of how much time I wasted on this? There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
It would seem...
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in this ultimate despair.
However...
There's not much though, nothing we don't already know. The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead it points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy that happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair.
However...
And that's all there is to it. Not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete Kirigiri failure.
Correct.
That is a good outlook to have. Jeez. So there's a hidden room. There must be some kind of clue waiting in there, but maybe for her it's more than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, and if Kyoko can figure out, wait, there might be a chance the password could be something Kyoko couldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of.
What?
What about your name? Oh, sorry, I just was trying to think of what the password might be. Do you mind if I try it just to be sure? It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. No, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name. But if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko more.
Hey.
If you're worried about Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. In that case, you guess nothing. Let me just check the password. Kyoko Kirigiri. Beep. What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked!
Why?
Kyoko? Hey, Kyoko. A present?
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. Not dangerous, but surprising, probably.
It seems.
If it is what I think it is, it's something you'll not be very happy to see.
Anyway,
Just don't scream or anything, okay? It's Sam's the skeleton!
I see.
Just as I thought. What? Just as you thought, how could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there, human bones. Not that I'm thinking of the bones specifically, I just had a feeling it would be his body. My father.
Correct.
What you found in the box, those bones, that body, that's my father, or at least what's left of him. How can you know that for sure? Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well be the mastermind. According to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible that he's somewhere in the school right now. Rodrigo said the headmaster was probably somewhere in the school, but the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume that most likely my father was in the school, but he's also dead. That's my assumption anyway. I know Kyoko said he wanted to see your father, she could cut off all ties, but was that all there was to it? Would she really give up on her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. I felt like I shouldn't make pointless small talk. Maybe I should look around a bit first. This filing cabinet seems like the type of place, but Kyoko...
Hey.
It's fine, check whatever you want. He's pretty dedicated to his job, huh? It's just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business, our legacy, and instead he left it all behind. If he couldn't handle a job like this, he would have been that much more of a failure. I'm sure he couldn't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate. Huh? This picture. It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is that a picture of... Hey, Kyoko.
Why would you?
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past, and yet... to now find something like this, so what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It was a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all the time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself. To cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here, and now he's abandoned me again. And this time he's even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? In the last drawer, an e-handbook, and it says in case of emergency.
In other words,
A handbook with no limitations given to the school's ultimate authority, the
it
headmaster.
would seem.
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here.
Hey.
Listen, Makoto, can I ask you a favor?
Hey. So.
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this. I don't know it will
Hey.
inconvenience, but could you leave?
Correct.
Just for a little while. I'd like to be alone for a while. Don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little. I'll be right back. I need to use a bathroom. That's what I need to do. Okay, I've returned. Hi. I just need to calm down a little.
Just a second.
I need to get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with Dad, but maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me someday. If so, it's just a theory, and this issue is an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the fact of what happened, what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily. The headmaster is dead. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means the mastermind's true identity. So the ones still left alive are me, Byakuya, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and Kyoko. The class before us must have used these lockers. I wonder if I can open these lockers. There's a car dealer inside the door. Wait, but what about the emergency handbook? Let's give it one more try. Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we have inside. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. There's a plan to turn Hope's Peak into a shelter and to isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk with the one who came up with this plan directly. It just so happened to be the headmaster, my father. He was willing to give you some more details. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigy safe and to keep their hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superiors from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation for a new era. So that's what my father had to say to me. Of course, he made a selfish decision before. This can't be true, can it? I know I couldn't know exactly who this belonged to, but Kyoko? But what she said since she hadn't seen her dad since when she was little. What does this all mean? Despair walks where? Where does the despair walk? This is the crystal ball. There's no way he ever uses locker. It's not possible. Is this a deck of playing cards? But no, they're tarot cards. Aren't those used for telling fortunes? It's just a coincidence, right? What? There's no denying what I saw. Inside of the notebook was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. He attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. He came to the school at the same time the rest of us, and we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. After he moving the investigation forward. Alright, so we've checked all we can, I think. So let's go...
Hey, Makoto.
Oh, Makoto, are you here to look around too? I can't help but wonder about the Makoto, so I figured if all the doors would be unlocked, so that one should open too. Although I couldn't bring myself to open it, because it might explode, right? So you open it. So I guess I'll open it. Wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. Okay, go ahead. This place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing.
What the heck?
I mean, every part of this world gives a bad vibe, but this place is number one gross. It looks like some kind of control panel, like some kind of military installation or something. It kind of looks like a mech cockpit, so the monocular one has a control panel that looks to be some sort of cockpit.
Okay.
Let's start poking it out, whatever. I'm going to start pushing buttons. How did you hear that? I think it came from the other room. What button did you push? The button that says data center. The data center, that's right next door. That's where the strange noise came from. I better go check it out. There's some kind of hack on the floor, but right now I need to go check out the data center. Did I hear just what I think I heard? Is that Monokuma? Hey! Roar! Roar! Give me all your donuts! Is that you, Hina? What? Oh man, busted! How did you know? Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera kind of setup? You don't even know what you're controlling? I mean, I can't really see anything from in here. Guess what I found? A self-destruct button.
Too bad.
Don't push it. Oh man, were you seriously gonna push it? Hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma. What were you controlling just now? It was Monokuma. What, for real? Yeah, it definitely looks like a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room.
Hey,
The mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time.
But
Kyoko's theory was right, but if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school the whole time. No, it can't be. There's no way, right? What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like the face you're making. What about you? Is everything okay? It's just this is where the mastermind's been hiding. Right? You know that they set up traps or something. I really hope it's not true. It's like, you want to leave soon? There's all sorts of other places to freak out. Click! As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. The door just locked on its own. Of course it's locked, because the data center is now restricted.
just a second.
You can't go around. It's for your benefit, because if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just up and stopped moving. Yep, that's where my controls are. So right now you're being operated by someone in that room? Correct, Commando! But that doesn't make any sense. We were just in there, we didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a surgeon sussy hatch? No way, the hatch on the floor? I tried to check it. Too bad, that was your one big chance and you blew it. So what was in that hatch? So like, is there another secret room where Junko's just hiding? This room is figuratively restricted, so no more, like, or is it just like a hole in the floor? Like Minecraft style, a 1x1 hole in the floor. A 1x2 hole in the floor with a brick on top of it. Or is there like an elaborate room in there? I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace!
Huh?
The hatch couldn't be open from the outside anyway, so it's not your fault. We have to stay positive and make the most of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell everyone. Nice, you got me all motivated again. Okay, I'm out. See you later. Oh, by the way, I've played the game before. Like, well, I haven't played it, but I know what happens. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about this, but it's the first time seeing it myself. Oh, Makoto, it's you. Ah, Byakuya. Well, you came in the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically unserious desk. Class 78. It contains profiles for all of us in Mukuro. Apparently, Class 78 refers to us. Found Mukuro's profile in Kyoko's room.
I see.
That's right, it also mentioned Class 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page.
In other words,
Mukuro was here at LP Academy. Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student. The one they call the ultimate despair. It seems like Kyoko was in a hurry. I was talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled, she must have been in a hurry. She was so much in a hurry that she only got the first page. Mukuro's profile actually
So, in
contains
other
2
words-
pages. There's more information about Mukuro that we still didn't have. What asked me to explain every single thing? It's supposed to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself.
interesting.
I don't know what kind of man he was, but to think he left us such an interesting clue. Mukuro reappeared suddenly, and in the background an entity floats, close out of reach, the entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now I can't be sure if there's a single person or some sort of group. Whatever it is, Mukuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about all this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair. I need to pay attention to Mukuro's behavior too. I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through, remember as Fender, when she entered Hope Speed, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. That alone proves a tremendous skill in battle. I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all, but if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Why'd they kill Mukuro? Even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Mukuro was capable of. To think that they would have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe that means the mastermind is even stronger than Mukuro is.
Fine.
You seem to be lost in thought. There's a lot of important information in the file. Did you notice a picture there? A picture of a girl you perhaps haven't seen before. A girl who seems to be included as Class 78. I asked me like if she has a nice body? You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe you want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you want to make your way back to the corpse and maybe you think, oh, that could mean the chance the body isn't actually Mukuro. Personally, what I'm thinking
It's all
seems to be
clear
impossible. That's all I was trying to say. So back to being Byakuya's errand boy. Oh, and one last thing, it's a bit of advice from me to you, so I'm sure you pay attention. You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well, but don't put too much faith in her. The cost of that base might be more than you can afford. Just what I think, call it a hunch. Well, my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't as you will. Huh? It's gone. Mukuro's body, it's not here? Are the chickens okay? Have any more of them been killed? There's still just 4 chickens left. It looks like there's 6 of them. Honestly, I'd be terrified if there were more than that. Maybe the body is inside the tool shed. I'd better check to be sure. I didn't find anything close to a dead body. I'm no aware, but the corpse is the chart played a key role in another case, so I better take a look into it. The killer used a tart to keep the sprinklers from keeping the body wet. I didn't notice before, but there's a small stamp in it says Biolab. This originally came from the Biolab. How would you not notice that on your first investigation? That's all I really need to check, but where could the body could have gone? Oh, Toko, so this is where you were. I thought maybe you found a clue. Well, I haven't, and I didn't find anything. I thought this place, but there wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give me back my precious time. Don't tell me to calm down. Do you have any idea what I'm going through right now? They're gonna call me useless. Master will. I can't say I disagree with that. Why would anyone accept me? Well, I don't think there's any clues here, so I'll be going. Well, here I am in the biolab. It's so cold. It's like I'm normally cold. Why is it so cold? On the left side there's a bunch of glowing blue lights, but on the other side there's some kind of weird machine or something built in the wall. I've seen something like this before. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does this mean this biolab is actually a morgue? If so, why are R16, why is it only used for the participants of the killing game? What happened to Natsumi's body? What did you do to it, Monokuma? There's some kind of weird machine. There's a stack of tarps here. I've been seeing those things lately. Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. We offer an eco-friendly. In addition to the germicidal lamp, we provide an ozone generator. Simply enter the cadaver and the blue light will let you know the automated system is activated. Temperature and humidity. With our body, anyone can keep a body fresh as a daisy as long as you need. In an unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate. The exterior is stainless steel. This is an instruction manual for the fridge. It's an experiment. It's some kind of makeshift morgue. I've got those lights in each slot. It looks like there's been set up that when a slot is occupied, a blue light comes on, which means inside each slot, another one of the victims is. I can't let my emotions take control right now. I have to defeat the mastermind. I don't have any other option.
This is everyone working hard. Well then, since you're all giving it your best, for those of you who are interested, please make your way to the gym ASA possible.
What? Now he wants to go with a hint? He said to go to the gym, right? Oh, hey, hero. Why are you like so surprised? No reason. You're Monaco's announcement. I'm on my way out. What'd he say? Listen, sorry, but I gotta go, man. Hi. Hello, welcome. Hello, are you here for your final hit? Well, just how happens to be in the envelope on the ground in front of you. This must be the envelope. And just so you know, I won't be answering any questions about what you find inside. Don't worry, just get on with it. Wait, but there's someone behind Sayaka, someone I don't recognize. That's not true. When Byakuya said Mukuro Yukusaba, and then this girl is. Why is Mukuro here than everyone else? But even more than that, Just having everyone here pose like this, and we're all wearing matching uniforms. I don't remember anything like this. It's not even everyone. I'm not in the picture. I'm the only one not there. It has all 15 other students but me. Who took these very specific My question is if these photos are from our past, who took these very specific pictures of us? Of everyone minus us. When I arrived here at OSP Academy, it's not natural for me leaving the picture, but what's definitely unnatural is that everyone else is in this picture. If this picture is real, then that could mean, could it be everyone else and just me? Everyone else except me is? How long are you gonna keep up this rambling of yours, Makoto? You're getting in the way standing there, you know? So I mean, get out! I told you I'm not fielding any options. What kind of mystery would this be if I gave you all the answers? That'd be totally out of left field. So in the end, all I found in the gym was even more confusion, and with that confusion in hand, I left dejected. How does that count as a hint? It just made me even more confused. Everyone but me. Maybe I should just ask everyone directly. I have to clear this all up. This is where you've been. Makoto, sorry, gotta go. What? She ran off so fast. You know, why? Why don't you talk to me? Where am I supposed to go now? Oh, I'm supposed to go clear it up with everyone. So go find where people are. Oh, Byakuya, listen, do you think we could talk?
That's enough.
I've nothing to talk to you about. Don't talk to me as if we were friends. What the? Why was he acting like that? Like he was purposely trying to avoid me. Huh? Toko? Toko, are you okay? She's not dead, is she? Well, it's cold, super cold. So cold that I might catch a cold if you take naps in places like this. Oh, was I asleep? I must have fainted again. I bet you were there staring at me getting all excited, weren't you? Other than what? Hot or bothered? What? So why did you pass out? Last thing I remember was waking up just now. What did you do to Miss Morose? She forgets something I totally remember, so it's like double the memory. But all I want to know right now is where's my little darling? Tell me or I'll slit your throat. By himself? I knew it. I'm the total pro when it comes to all things master. I gotta hurry. I can't even imagine how lonely I would be right now. Ha. I totally forgot to ask her about the picture. Why did Toko faint? There's gotta be some reason for it. The fridge, it's open. That must be why she passed out.
Makoto,
It's getting late, isn't it? I'm sorry if I made you worry.
listen.
But listen, about this room,
It would seem
it's a morgue.
I knew it.
I suspected as much, and Toko must have looked inside the fridge, seen what was there, and well, there you have it.
Indeed.
It looks like out of me, the room isn't too clear. I managed to came in here to investigate and open the slot there. And that's where she saw the body and dropped like a rock. Why's everything gotta be difficult? Anyway, we should close it out. Give me a hand with this.
Listen.
Maybe we should wait a second before closing it. Because Mukuro's body is here.
I see.
It's like every other time, the mastermind brought it up here when we were in the class trial. Because they assumed we wouldn't be doing the class trial over again, I guess. Either way, now I can finally get a good look at the body.
Makoto.
I need to do my own examination of the corpse as soon as possible. I'm gonna find a clue this time, and I'm gonna grab the mastermind by the tail. How would the mastermind do that if they were controlling Monokuma during the class trial the whole time? Why didn't you just wait over there? I'll let you know as soon as I finish. It's about that announcement. You mean the one about offering a hint? I decided not to take him up. The only reason he'd give us in was to confuse us or to cloud our judgment. You know, I think I've seen something like this before. The same one as the garden. It had a biolab. Someone got it from the biolab and took it over here. But these ones aren't. It's in the fridge. So when someone's in there, the blue light comes on. There's 9 in all. 9 lights? Okay, Makoto, I'm done.
Indeed.
I think we're going to do the work. Geez, that's fast. Anyone can do good work if they go slow. In that spirit, I'll make my report brief. But did you find anything? The stomach and wound blow to the back of the head were inflicted after death. The burnt tissue made things a little difficult, but I'm confident in my findings. Neither of those were the fatal injuries. The body was covered in other wounds. The only other option is those other wounds.
Because...
Say how old they were? It says several days ago.
Wrong.
Well, the difference is meant captivating the impression. Was simply
However,
old. But that doesn't quite fit logically. Old wounds really sound like they've been there forever. Are you saying they are? But we all got them on a camouflage right after she was killed, right? So the wounds were at least a few days old, so there's no way there could be anything to do with it. But what if Mukuro herself wasn't killed within the last few days?
at the very least...
Certainly you can allow it as one of the many possibilities. A detective doesn't have supernatural powers. There's no way to predict the answer from the beginning. Instead, the ideal detective begins by imagining as many possible scenarios as they can. They envision those possibilities without prejudice, without bias, using only their logic and common sense, and as they investigate, they test what they had against each of those possibilities. Of course, me telling you that doesn't mean you're being very good in the detective world, but beyond using that to solve this particular mystery, you should keep it in mind for the future.
Hey,
Come to think of it, there's one thing.
so...
They listed her height and weight. You remember all that? They're indeed consistent with the corpse.
Indeed.
So then, and don't forget about the friendly victim this time, without a doubt, is Mukuro Yukisaba.
And?
Is that all you wanted to ask?
So then.
Then it looks like we have no further business. It's kind of chilling here. I think it's kind of weird having sad having out in the open. Didn't you forget she was our enemy once, part of the ultimate despair?
Hey,
But still she got killed. She's still the victim. Well, yeah, but still, nice guy Makoto. You really are naive. You think you know that?
so then...
I think we've done all we can do. Back to our separate investigations. Hey Kyoko, I did have one last thing. I've really not seen your dad at either since you were gone. You know those lockers on the second floor of the dorms? Using that emergency handbook, the one you found in the headmaster's sitting room. So, did you find anything worse? I found a pocketbook. I think it must be your pocketbook.
Why is that? Because...
Well, those lockers belong to any of us. After all, we only got access to that part recently. What I'm saying is, there's no way I could have access to any of those lockers. And if I did have a pocketbook, why would I bother putting in the locker? Everything you said, but there's something inside. It's about the headmaster, about your father. Could it mean that video is real too? Makoto, I think everything is starting to fit together to reveal a cohesive picture, although I'm afraid that picture might have been worse than anything we could have imagined. I need to go investigate those lockers right now.
So...
I shouldn't have any problem opening. After all, it was seen that it's my locker. If you watch this, it'll make sense.
So...
I found the hidden room after you left. Go ahead and see for yourself.
Makoto.
Oh, now it's my turn.
In
You
other
have a second to
words,
listen to me ramble? The arrangements I made didn't stick. Even my own feelings. I can never find the answers to the questions I wanted to ask for the rest of my
However,
life, but there's one thing I am sure of. When it comes to the mastermind, there's no room in my heart for forgiveness. I swore to destroy the mastermind. This isn't one more reason to follow through on that. It's strange to suddenly be confronted with his death and suddenly feel this way. I couldn't care less if my father had found happiness. So why is it? Why does it bother me to know how much he suffered? It's ridiculous. I guess there's no understanding it. So that's it for my rambling. There's so much more to consider, but keep this in mind. There's only one ever absolute truth. Whether it's the greatest truth or the worst. Even if the truth you uncover is filled with hopelessness, you can't give up hope. Sorry if that was strange. Anyway, I'll see you at the class trial. This should be able to play DVDs just fine. Sayaka!
Okay then, are you ready to begin? I do apologize, but I hope you don't mind if I record our conversation. I'm a little slow, you know. I never really got the hang of taking notes while having a conversation.
It sounds like he was trying to make a joke, but Sayaka's sense
So
didn't
this
move a single
video is meant to
millimeter.
serve as a kind of contract substitute. It's not that I don't trust you guys. It's more like insurance. So please don't worry too much. Now then, there is a chance that you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
You want me to accept that? I accept.
Thank you. And I'm sorry about all this. Well, I can promise you that I will do everything in my power to keep you safe. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, I give you my word.
As if unto that's when the video cut out. I simply couldn't comprehend what I've heard. I know how much Sayaka wanted to get out of here. She wanted that so bad she tried to frame me for it. So why should she say yes to living here for the rest of her life? Huh?
So, Makoto, before we begin, I should let you know.
Yes.
Me and the headmaster were looking at each other. We were having a fairly normal, but the I in the here and now had no memory of it.
Now, shall we, Makoto? Can you accept?
Yes.
I'm sorry I'm putting you through.
Well, I mean, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
But I promise that as long as you're in this school, as the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy,
Let's get the video cut out. The same scene again with the others. Byakuya. Toko. Hina, everyone, they said they agreed. And then Kyoko, her interview that they had been recorded just as clearly. She had met him. Huh? It wasn't just the monitor.
Say what?
Oopsie! Looks like it broke. Out of service. So, just having to break this now. Doesn't matter. That's what failure is, right? Failure my ass. You cut that on purpose. Even if I watched the whole thing, it'd be more of the same. Well, that's what. So, Monokuma just cut that wire. But of what Kyoko said, she must have watched the video, right? And knowing her, she would probably have been sure to watch the whole thing, right? So, Kyoko knows what's up with Junko. She fucking knows. Like,
That's right. It would seem... Hey.
a convenient outcome. So does that mean I've lost my memory too? What about the others? Have we all forgotten? Or... But Kyoko must have seen that whole DVD, right? She would have watched the whole thing, knowing her. Meaning she's seen Junko's real face. Anyway, let's do the fucking trial. I want to get it done with today.
And if the end comes, there is no night. Although that there is no storm, that, of course, then that leads to drought. But as I said, every end is the... Which is why I'm sure we'll get... Anyway, let's get started. The beginning of the end of the class trial. Everyone gather once...
It's about to begin again. The class trial is going to start. The final class trial. The last time was to spare. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Okay then, this is the end.
Makoto,
You're early, Makoto.
listen.
Does that mean you feel prepared?
However,
I'm sure they'll be here soon. It was like the first class trial.
Called for me and so
Oh, I'm late!
I'm on fire! Yes!
Gremlins are blazed. Listen, everything will be fine if you to do this with scissors in hand. I'll stab and gouge and shiv the master of evil. But I thought you couldn't kill anyone, but... What, Makoto? Where am I? No human language can describe the disappointment I'm feeling right now. Is everyone here? Ooh, and wearing our gloomy ghost faces, I see. Well then, let's begin. This final class trial is going to be solid and pitch back despair. What do you mean this time? Stop with all the slander. I'm a very good standing, you know. If there's a Mr. Fair Guy Universe contest, I take home the tiara every time. I'm going to win this game super fair and square. I'll make sure everyone at home knows that despair is a mightier den than hope. That despair is mightier than hope. Enough of your giggle. Begin the trial already. I'll be waiting for you down below, so don't try and run away.
In the name of my...
This will be over in no time. They're all acting odd, like they're paranoid, suspicious of each other. But you know what it is. Yeah, I think so. Well, you can tell us all about it soon at the class trial. Ready to win, right? I'm glad to hear you say that. This is the final trial. Say, what do you think? Isn't it just the perfect diagram for deciding a person's fate? It's a long-awaited last stage, the always exciting final boss battle, and I'm gonna sit in on this one. I'll just sit right here in the vacant 16th seat. Alright then, let's begin! I want this one.
Since this will be the final class trial, so listen up. If you can figure out Mukuro's killer and go on to solve the... You guys win! But if you can't, then I win! And of course, waiting for the loser.
Are you saying that if you lose, you'll execute yourself?
Yep, sure will.
And that's final? No loopholes? No wiggling out of it later?
Of course not. Bears never go...
Never mind all that. I just have one question for you.
Oh, you're taking this serious.
Is the mastermind only one person? Don't bother. I already know the answer. You're all the mastermind, aren't you? You're all out to get me. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it.
I'm big stupid. God, you hate to see it.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you? I have evidence. So
Oh, having this much HP is fucking broken. Especially for BTB.
You're all out to get me. I'm sure of it. I have evidence of my own.
What a coincidence. I too have evidence that proves everyone other than me has been...
What? Wait, this doesn't make any sense. How could the three of us each have...
Fuck.
You guys have all been working. I have evidence. So
Hey, you don't. You're all out to get me. I have evidence of my...
What a coincidence. Evidence that proves everyone...
what? This doesn't make any sense. How can the three...
What kind of evidence?
You guys have all been working together. I have evidence. So
Hey, you don't. You're all out to get me. I have evidence of my...
What a coincidence. Evidence that proves everyone...
what? This doesn't make any sense. How can the...
What kind of evidence?
Got it.
Yo, what's wrong?
The fucking snipes, boy.
It's not just you three. I have evidence too.
What? You too?
The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
What? Huh? with the picture you have, I'm in it. But that can't be right. Because in my picture... See? I'm the only...
I figured as much, in which case...
Okay, but be careful with...
This one too, it's just as I thought.
So the secret in these pictures has been revealed.
Secret or whatever, I don't care!
But you're in my picture. You're the ones trying to trick me.
So the whole purpose behind these photos was to get us questioning if the mastermind laid a trap, to make us each think everyone else was working against us.
Huh? I laid a trap? A trap? How rude! What trap?
The proof I have to reveal Monokuma's trap. What person? And that person is...
I got it! In each case, the only one not in the picture is the person who received it. So, in the picture I got, I'm the only one missing. In the picture Hina got, she's the only one missing. And in the picture Hiro got, he's the only one missing.
As long as we're talking about it, I suppose.
In other words, Monokuma gave each of us a group photo in which that person wasn't included.
And when we each saw our picture, we just assumed everything.
Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I thought that must be it.
But you know, there's something else that bothers me about everyone's pictures.
Can I see everyone's group photo? It's not directly connected to what...
Sure, nope.
Yeah.
There's something unusual about these photos. I need to compare them one more time. Byakuya's picture, Hina's picture, Hiro's picture, and mine. There's something strange about all of them. Something.
Can you just forget about the photo already? Ugh. Trying to trick me with such an obviously...
And on top of that, they went to...
So you think they're fake? No. I assure you, they're quite real.
How lucky did Monokuma get to get 6? Because assuming to get 6 photos where Junko's face is conveniently covered by something.
What are you talking about?
Yeah! I don't remember ever taking a picture, so it's gotta be a fake. I'm sure of it.
But you know, can we...
Huh?
Don't get me wrong. I don't remember taking this picture either. Is that really enough to be absolutely positive they're fake?
What do you mean?
The reason I don't remember this picture isn't necessarily because it's a fake. There might be some other reason, a terrible reason, an unbelievable, horrifying reason.
Now I understand.
Now I understand.
Let's say that somehow...
Oh, I get it. So we all just lost our memories at the same time and forgot about the photo. Makes sense. As if. You expected to believe such an unbelievable
Fucking-
type story?
I thought he was gonna say, wait. It's only natural that they wouldn't believe it. If that's the absolute truth, they have no choice. You can't move forward until they accept it.
You You're saying we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise
I
you,
think
haven't
since
lost my memory.
the
Ever
beginning.
since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened. So the idea that we...
It's totally stupid. Obviously. You're saying we all got spot. Since when did this turn into?
I promise you, ever since I got to this school, I remember
Everything that's happened. No, it's wrong. Those photos aren't the only things that point to the possibility of memory loss. This DVD does the same thing.
You're not gonna show us something indecent, are you?
Thanks,
No,
Toko.
it's nothing like that. It's a video of all of us.
when you say all of us,
I mean all of us, including you.
you lie! I never did any kind of interview.
No, it's not a lie. Just watch the DVD. The headmaster did, in fact, interview you.
What are you saying?
I didn't imagine you would remember.
It's not about whether or not I remember. You expect me to believe all this?
Well, we don't have any way to refute it, so we have no choice but to accept it as reality.
How can you say that? We're talking about living, breathing amnesia here.
To be honest, I have something else on my mind.
Is amnesia a lie?
Else?
You said the DVD contains recordings of us being interviewed by the headmaster. What were the interviews about?
The headmaster sat each of us down, one at a time, and asked us the same question. He asked us if we could accept the idea of spending the rest of our lives in this school.
And how did we answer?
We'd say no, obviously.
Actually, we all said we could. Even I heard myself say yes. I could spend the rest of my life at this school.
Why? Why would you say yes to something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing.
The same goes for everyone else. Nobody remembers. You don't remember choosing to live here forever, or even talking to the headmaster about it at all.
It doesn't matter if I remember, even if I bought the whole amnesia thing. The idea that I would... That's just insane! How can I believe that?
Insane or not, we can't move forward.
You sure are, 'cause it's all true.
What?
I know it's...
You believe him, but not us?
If it's
Fuck
the truth,
you,
there's
Yasuhiro.
nothing we can do about it.
Indeed, we only have one path in front of us.
Yep, you all totally lost your memory at the same time.
This is all making my...
And this isn't like some normal kind of... You stole those specific memories from us, didn't you?
Oopsie, you figured that part out too.
Of course. There's no way we would all just happen to get amnesia at the same time.
How could someone just steal our memories?
Shit.
How? Come. That hardly matters right now. If I said it was hypnotism, would you believe me? Or we opened up your skulls and messed with your brains? Would you really believe anything I said? How it happened doesn't matter right now.
What matters is figuring out what memories you took from us.
I knew I could count on you.
The interview with the headmaster, taking that group photo, those can't be the only memories we lost. There must have been a purpose to it all. A reason for taking away our memory.
Of course there was a purpose. It all has to do with the original motive.
You mean the motive you came up with? To try...
That has something to do with the memories you stole from us?
It sure does. But that was still a secret. Anyway, I'm sure it's not easy, but let's all focus on the class trial for the...
Okay, so you want us to figure out who killed her before we do anything else?
So until we do that, we have to explain every last remaining mystery. The one who killed Mukuro, the true mastermind, that's what we have to expose. Save Rod for now.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything. That much I'm sure of.
But when you think about it, is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
What does make me so sure?
Exactly. You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is here. The mastermind is probably a million miles away. These masterminds always lurk off in the background, right?
The mastermind. Where is the
So
mastermind?
who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind
That much I can.
When you is the mastermind?
Of course, they have to be.
What makes you so?
Exactly. You're just the mastermind is.
No, it's wrong.
No,
There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
You could even say they're hiding somewhere within the
How do
school.
you know?
Watch
Did
out
you
for
find
her.
some evidence or something?
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind must have been using that to control him all this time, so there can't be any doubt. The mastermind has been inside the school all along.
There can't be any doubt. In which case, there also can be no doubt that the mastermind is one of us. Recall what Makoto told us Monokuma said to him earlier.
So the mastermind isn't in this school. We can only assume there can be that 16th student. But how they managed to survive all of this? So we're the only ones here?
I'm not the mastermind.
Well, it's not me.
I blame Makoto.
What? What did I do?
Why me?
Cuz it's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed.
I mean,
I
true.
get it. The only way he could have survived is if he was actually the mastermind himself.
Aw, nuts! You got me!
Wait! What are you trying to say?
Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic. The mastermind's true identity will become clear soon enough.
You
Just
already
as soon as
know
we find
because
out who
you've
killed
seen
Mukuro.
the fucking
That's a good
video.
point. Rather than wasting time bickering, we should put our...
Yeah, well, how much time have we already spent talking about the murder?
He's right.
If you want something to talk about, we haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
Huh? But
No, that isn't Wouldn't you agree, Makoto?
Because actual cause of death must have been...
I got it! All of the wounds covering her body. That's what really killed her.
Hey, now hold on a second. It made it pretty clear. Those wounds were made at least a few days ago, so they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took...
What?
What if, when we discovered her body, she'd already been dead for several days? If that's true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old.
Could you just, like, hide a body and, like, have no one find it for the rest of the killing game?
That doesn't make any sense because she had all those wounds.
Because,
before she
like,
ever
the
came
thing
here.
would never go off?
huh? How do you know that?
Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier.
You're wrong.
She denied me. I'm not weird, okay? At least listen to what I have to say before you deny me.
If you're so sure we're gonna deny you, why bother saying it in the first place?
Mukuro was the ultimate soldier. She She must have been 100 different battles. So when you think about it, obviously she got all those wounds in battle.
Do we have Kyoko's account?
Are you finished?
You didn't deny me this time, Wimsey. You made me go all cutesy.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything cute about it.
Mukuro was the ultimate soldier.
This is the only. It has to be this one.
When you think about it, obviously, he got all those wounds in battle.
Are you finished?
You made me.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything cute about it.
Mukuro was the she must have been so when you obviously
All those wounds in battle.
Fuck.
Are you finished?
you didn't deny me. You made me.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything cute about it.
Mukuro was the she must have been so when you
Obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
Are you finished?
Fuck.
you made me.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything cute about it.
Mukuro was the she must have been so when you
Obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
Are you finished?
Fuck.
you made.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything cute about it.
Mukuro was she must have been so obviously.
No, it's wrong. No, Mukuro didn't suffer those wounds. The file we found in the headmaster's room said
Oh right, she came here without
despite
any.
the time she spent in battle after battle as a member when she entered the school, she
Don't be denied so completely. Maybe it's because of all of Master's training.
anyway. So we can be sure that Mukuro suffered all, in which case, they could be the very thing that killed her.
As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibilities. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and head wounds came after she was already dead.
Unless anyone has any better suggestions, the wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body are...
Mukuro's
But if
fatal
that's
injury.
what killed her, then does that mean she's really been dead for who knows?
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already...
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night? If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, so who was it that...
The identity of the one that attacked
I
me.
got it!
I can't think of anyone
The one
else.
who attacked me was the true mastermind. When we discovered Mukuro in the garden where... I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me, but I was wrong. It wasn't her at all. It was the mastermind.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in. Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of
Oh, so that's what the point of the mask is. I get it now. Thanks, Monokuma.
The true identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's... Do you have...
No, there's no way that Mukuro was the one that attacked me, even if I didn't see their face. If you compare what we know about Mukuro to the masked attacker, it should be obvious. What, you mean Mukuro's vitals? Or that Mukuro was already dead?
You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who is I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
You're wrong. Even without seeing their face, There's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other part? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand?
Which part of the body was the thing on? It was the right hand, right? It's one of the hands.
Maybe the right, or perhaps, or could it be the hips? You never saw their face, so you can't have any. I'm telling you.
No.
It's one of the hands.
Mukuro had a tattoo on her right, a representation of Fenrir. In other words, a wolf tattoo. But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me. And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her. But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, you know.
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I all have solid.
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have, but what about Kyoko? It totally could have been her. Uh-oh. No snappy comeback.
If you insist, I don't mind showing you.
Huh? Show me what?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing that proves beyond.
Before anyone could say anything, they don't actually show us.
Your
Kyoko
hand!
was removing her gloves. With that thing, I let out a gasp.
Awful, isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Kyoko seemed to stay with the words as she said them, then she put her gloves back on.
My scars should suffice as proof. Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind.
This is just awful. On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Well, fuck you.
Not at all. You can say whatever you want.
Sure. As long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet. Because if you haven't noticed,
There's no proof that. Where's the proof that anyone even attacked me?
True.
Oh, right, the knife is
Oh,
missing.
you're right.
On the contrary,
You're not going to tell us she was already dead before.
I promise you, without a...
Then somehow she was killed in secret.
and after she died, who knows how much time went by before we found her, right? Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She...
She was.
Then, she...
There's only one place. I can only think of one place the body could have been stored.
Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
Biolab? You mean?
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue, so it's the perfect place to hide a body. And it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened.
The proof that the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp.
I got it! What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it It says biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you...
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
The question is, how did we not notice it the first time? Including Kyoko.
Tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers.
You made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
That's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body...
There is no evidence. But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Worked up?
Now
That's you're acting kind of sussy.
Biolab, you must be getting, because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
You talking about
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency.
An inconsistency in the biolab?
Hear you, la 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
I need to pull my discovery and think.
Hey, by the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What? Your family. So what do you think? Are you sure you're...
Are you trying to blackmail me?
Why are you...
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think is
I mean, I
happening
think
to
she's
your
probably in a
family?
hotel somewhere.
Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about...
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, I need to calm down. I can't let her get to me. He says that because I know her truth. I need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. Oh, baby.
Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? Punishment is waiting for you. Are you sure about this? 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 Punishment is waiting for you. Are you sure about this? 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 Punishment is waiting for you. Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this?
This minigame fucking sucks.
I'm not listening.
This should prove it.
This minigame fucking sucks, though.
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is... the lights.
What are you talking about? What about the light?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, that's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light...
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in, and there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta get...
Explain this in football terms, man.
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly
Is
suspicious.
incredibly sus. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, never mind. I thought someone was knocking on my door.
Suspicious? Why?
Incredibly sus.
That's simple. Just recall who's died here.
That's right, that's the key to solving the mystery. Sayaka, then Junko, then Leon, then Chihiro, then Mondo, then Taka and Hifumi, then Celeste, then Sakura, and number 10 was Mukuro.
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious. But according to the lights in the biolab...
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then
It may very well be.
if that's true, then why doesn't
Including Monokuma's executions. There have apparently been that's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
The reason are less than the... Why is that? Why did it take so long for those signs?
I got it! What about if the same person was killed twice?
Huh? Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far, but one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Murdered and...
I mean, there's a better way to explain that,
There could have been
Makoto.
10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, I guess. Still,
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It was Mukuro, of course, before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on! Besides, who could that someone else even...
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers.
Nothing's gonna become obvious, because Kyoko's totally delusional!
Fuck her, yeah, bro! Makoto, Junko fucking sucks!
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima?
Yes?
Leon Kuwata? Chihiro?
Mondo, Kiyotaka, Hifumi, Celestia,
Alu? Or maybe... No, there's no way anyone was murdered twice!
No, it's wrong.
Is that... Okay, that is how they want us to do it. It might have been the other way around.
Wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
What do you mean?
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered...
Then the similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up.
Hold on, getting Discord notice.
That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
So let me see if I have this straight. Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being... Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of...
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered.
It's really true? Mukuro and Junko? Wait, so then... What is...
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but not, which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is...
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She took you and made it look like so total silence.
Mukuro alive, the one that's alive Mukuro, but can we really believe that?
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right.
She made it look like...
So the mastermind's true identity is...
What do you say, Monokuma?
He says.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive? That's right. So the mastermind's...
What do you say, Monokuma?
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
Well,
That's right.
I don't know what I do for this.
Mastermind's...
What do you say, Monokuma?
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No. The body we found in the body's appearance and measurements
Oh,
are
right.
consistent with... Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall, and with everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir test.
Somebody made it look like they died. There's only one person it could be.
Here's my answer. Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead. But we saw her get impaled. If Junko were still alive, the death we saw... But you yourself confirmed she was dead.
Now that you mention it. I did check.
Was dead. There's no question. Junko was.
So...
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. Too bad.
This case hasn't been decided just yet. You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
No,
Huh?
of course not. There's no way I'd give up.
That's all well and good. But how do you... Junko, absolutely...
Then both of them are dead, right?
I think we need to look at this. Let's assume Junko is still alive.
How Junko could have survived? I checked her. She was dead. I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow, could it be that Junko... Maybe she used some sort of trick? Fuck.
Now I understand. That's it. What if she switched places with...
Switch places?
That's right. before the spears could kill her, she got specifically Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything.
I don't know anything about this switching places. That had to be Junko who got stabbed to death.
Yeah, you're saying they... Right when she was, Good point. There's maybe the whole...
There has to be some way. I need to figure it out.
I got it! The two of them, they had switched places from the very beginning.
From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right? After all, the one we saw at that point would have already...
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met...
Alright, I'm gonna go eat lunch. I'll be right back.
It's actually Mukuro all along?
Okay, we're back. Hi. So classes start Monday, so I won't be as available as I have been. I'll still try to stream as much as I can, but classes are starting, so...
Then we'd already met her?
I had, like, a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference. That would easily allow the...
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo. Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that. If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for so I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto.
But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup from the very beginning?
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate
Wait.
plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair. In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
Then why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my as if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity. When did I do that?
So you still refuse to admit it, but you can deceive us, people. But I've already figured it out. Not once, but twice. The first time was during our latest investigation. It's either it's this, right? With management, I was presenting the right evidence. Okay, so the video.
I got it! While I was in the AV room, watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster.
But why would you let Kyoko see it? Oh, or maybe that was when I was talking to Hina and Monokuma wasn't in control.
You made sure I couldn't finish.
But I'm
watching
saying
the
there's some holes in this argument that I haven't noticed when I first played this, so there are a few holes in this. And that's why I'm replaying it, to find holes like this.
is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
But what?
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke.
When the Junko is sus?
Are you sure about this? What are you even talking about? Are you sure about this? What are you even talking about? Are you sure about this? What are you even talking about? That's impossible! This should prove it.
Dun, 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 dun.
The video wasn't the only thing you tried to cover up. You did the same thing with this group photo. Uh-oh. I noticed it just a little while ago. In all the photos, there's a certain similarity.
What's so unusual about them?
I got it! Junko's face. The one thing common to every single photo is that you can't see her face.
And if those photos are real and not Photoshop, how lucky Monokuma was to get a photo of everyone except the person in it and one where you can't see Junko's face.
It's hard to believe her face would just happen to be hidden in every single... And on top of that, in this photo, you can see that Mukuro is... So in other words, at that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet. With all that in mind, there's no doubt that the girl whose face is hidden here, which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew.
Xanadu!
I believe everything Makoto said is true. Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
So she killed Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko is still alive.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation. She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair.
Xanadu times 2!
With this, the identity and the crimes of...
No, wait! Hold on!
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere left to run. I'll prove everything.
What was the identity of the ultimate fashionista? Where did the mastermind keep Mukuro's body? The mastermind attacked me with something. What was it? It's one of these, right? You couldn't identify the mysterious body because it got blown up.
The killer is you! We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko and Oshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real Junko. The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student, and that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba. But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the master Junko and Oshima. Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue. Until Junko decided to put... Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, and prove it to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think. So she put on a mask
that was her.
and then attacked me. After making sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room. Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body. This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place. Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence. She needed to hide the body's true identity. She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder, and the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The real Junko and Oshima. That's the whole story behind this incident. Well, what do you have to say to that?
What? Are you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on! It's time you finally reveal.
It's not like you're an endangered species or something.
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Wrong! There's still plenty more to...
So where did she come from?
We have been waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear. If you swear your fealty to us, we will reward you with half of the entire world. We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status. In sum, have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
Okay.
Oh, did you think I was being serious? Sorry, I was just messing with you.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like Junko's VA in this game. She gets a lot better in 2 and in the anime and in V3, but in this game it's just...
It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play. Anyway, looks like I've finally been set free. Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day. It was like I was stuck in purgatory. Or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
Face.
Huh? What about my face? What's wrong with my beautiful face? People have told me I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen you.
I got it! That's right. It was before I ever came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover. And you were on it.
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you've made it this far, huh?
So I was right. Then what you told me...
Are you talking about my cover photos and junk? Well, of course, this is totally Photoshop.
Sometimes a little lie is necessary to keep things moving along. Wouldn't you agree?
That explains why she didn't quite seem the same. Because she was a different...
I'm me. And Mukuro, she tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate fashionista. Two people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist. Not even if they're twins.
Twins?
I know. It's such a cliche, right? I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. So basically,
Like, why does this voice sound like a
Mukuro
robot?
and I had your stereotypical. The older sister, tough and proud. That was Mukuro. The younger sister, smart and cute. That...
Me! Junko fucking Enoshima!
Like, this voice is fine. It's two VAs.
AKA the ultimate despair!
Right? This VA is really
She's
good,
a
but...
totally different person now.
Like I said, I get bored easy as hell. I even get fucking bored with myself. But if you're twins... Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that? Maybe it's new to your dumb ass? Put it forth, just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
But if she was your twin, that means...
And for reasons deeper and darker than the ocean. Ha! As if!
Well, I suppose I'd better explain. For my plan to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game from behind the scene. The so-called mastermind had to operate Monokuma, keep an eye on everyone, things like that. But after looking at the situation,
I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties. Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family, leaving me behind to run off and join some band of mercenaries. Such a disappointment. So, I decided to play the role of director and have her I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way. Besides, 15 students seemed like a solid number to start with. Of course, the fact that she was the ultimate soul, she had what I call the 3 atrocities. Atrociously rank, atrociously filthy, atrociously repulsive. It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society. Meanwhile, my ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go to waste.
And that's why you switched identities?
Sadly, her inability to match my personality was even greater than I'd calculated. It was a lost cause. She was nothing more than a bit player, an extra, unworthy of lines. Being the utter disappointment that she was, anyone would have expected her to get killed off right away, which is precisely why I killed her. To meet everyone's expectations.
That can't be your only reason, can it?
Well, no, of course not. I also did it to avoid becoming bored.
I've never been a stickler for following a plan to the letter, you know? If I planned everything out and knew just what was gonna happen, that'd be so boring. So, I changed things just a bit and decided to use Mukuro to make a little point.
In other words, Mukuro's death was a one-sided, premeditated act of betrayal, just as I suspected. When Mukuro was killed, she must have been as surprised as anybody else.
So, you figured it out? Well, you're right. There's no way Mukuro could have pulled off such a convincing performance. But she did teach you all a very valuable lesson, don't you think?
How can you talk like that? You sacrificed your own sister. How does that not even bother you?
What? I sacrificed her? That's what's got you so hot under the... Please, misunderstanding. We were the ultimate despair, you know? So we never had any kind of hope or expectations. No, I felt despair as long as I can remember. Like I never should have been born at all. When I was born, I cried tears of total despair. So that's why for us, it's not a big deal whether we die or kill.
So, I honestly don't think that. I think this "when I was born" line refers to... I think Junko's an alternate personality due to... of Ryoko Otonashi. It's my headcanon that Junko is an alternate personality of Ryoko Otonashi, and Ryoko Otonashi is the original self. And when Yasuke Matsuda erased the memories, it just reverted her back to how she was originally. So, I think Junko's like an alternate personality, like similar to Toko and Jinsei Jill. Except Junko has full control. Has had full control for a while.
We're just those kinds of people. We can do anything.
Since like childhood.
We've always been filled with despair. So when we do something, we go all the way and live without regret. So you just murdered your own sister? And that's not true at all. We were twins. How could I not be sad? That's why it gets me so excited. Killing my precious sister with my own 2 hands. That act is filled with so much despair. You can't help but put a super in front of it. It's like super, 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 super despair. No, more than that. Super, 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 super despair. It just feels so good.
What the hell is wrong with you?
And my sister too. In that moment of death. And after all, to be murdered by your own sister, and only as an example to someone else, she must have died feeling such excruciating hope. I'm so jealous of her.
I knew you couldn't be just some ordinary person. You're some kind of abnormality.
Turning your own despair into some kind of fetish. Abnormality doesn't even begin to describe it.
Like, Genocide Jill is crazy for sure.
You're saying I don't compare to some lowly beast that can only kill the weak. Right. So, I'm hopelessly attractive, hopelessly brilliant, hopelessly athletic. I'm the hopelessly perfect ultimate human.
No. I don't think there's anything perfect about anything you just said.
Yeah, Master's way more perfect. Because on top of everything else, he's got that noble blood.
Huh? Don't you mean had that noble blood?
What did you just say? What do you mean by that?
You still haven't figured that part out yet? Man, you guys are so slow. You haven't even solved all the mysteries, and yet here you are. Yep.
Are you talking about our memory?
You've already solved this mystery, right? I'm the killer. So how about the next one? Maybe you should solve the riddle of your missing memories. Then you can start floating.
Damn straight. That's exactly what
Damn
we're going
straight.
to do. We're going to solve all these mysteries. And then we'll have our victory.
I can't wait.
All right, then let's just get straight to the point. What memories did you steal from us?
When the group pictures were taken, I got it. It must have something to do with our...
No fair! At least give us a hint!
Your brains are like sponges, all drippy and leaky. I already gave you all the memories you lost. Share something in common with a few...
I got it! You're talking about the motives you provide.
So you do remember after all. Well, I would hope you wouldn't forget something so important. It was stupid of me to even ask. I apologize. So then, did you notice that each motive I presented you had a specific theme to it?
Theme?
Yep, you got it. So when Sayaka was murdered, what was the theme of the
I got it! The driving force behind the motive you presented us with at that point was human connections.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Remember those DVDs I gave you guys? Each video showed the total destruction of your most important relationships. For example, your friends. For example, your family.
Huh?
I ruined all those relationships and showed you the result. It was to motivate your desire to escape and kickstart your urge to kill. But still, what a cruel thing to do.
You're the one that did it.
Yes, well, I'm perfectly happy to accept your...
Okay. So...
I got it! It was our past, right?
Yay! Makoto got it right again! Embarrassing memories and secrets! Yeah! And the whole reason Mondo did what he did was to protect his...
So, how long do you...
Relax. So, what was the motive for the third murder?
Was money.
I got it! It was money, wasn't it? Greed.
Seek and destroy! Hell yeah, you got it again! Goddamn straight it was money! Celeste killed Hifumi and Taka for a little personal gain. Her greed led to all kinds of death and destruction.
What's the point of all this? Why are you
Don't worry, sweet cheeks. Just
Sweet
one more to
cheeks.
go. Now, can you tell me the motive behind crazy ass
Are you
Sakura's
interested in me?
crazy ass death?
Naijunko moment? Blackmail, right?
memories. It was betrayal.
Precisely. You see, once I revealed Sakura's betrayal, that led to everything that came afterwards. Anyway, it looks like you answered all of my questions correctly. How painfully delightful.
But what's the point? What meaning is there in asking those questions now?
Relationships? Secrets? Money? Betrayal? These are all pretty standard motives, right? The most normal of normal. Totally middle of the road.
But of course, those aren't the only motives that exist in this world. In fact, there are as many they compel humans to kill each other, bringing despair to the world. This is what we refer to as the seed of despair.
Why do you sound like fucking James? Like female James. To protect the world from devastation. Like, if Jesse and James were gender swapped.
Just as water, air, and food promote growth in living, and that nourishment is hope. Despair can grow only in the presence of hope. Two sides of the same coin. Divide.
How much longer is this stupid speech of yours? Weren't we discussing our missing memories?
If you would listen, you would see I'm not changing the subject. What I'm trying to say is, the seed of despair is...
How so?
You see, by taking away your memory, of course that hope merely existed to be consumed by despair.
How could taking away someone's memory...
And plus, you haven't given us any hope anyway!
Is that so? All you've been able to think about, the mere fact that that's what you want, proves I gave you hope.
What are you talking about?
If none of you wanted to escape this school, the killings never would have taken place. That is why we took your memories, so that you would have the desire to leave.
The only reason we want to leave is because you took our memories.
Correctamundo!
Which means if we did have our memories, then we wouldn't want to leave.
What? Why the hell would having our memories make us not want to leave?
A most troubling thought, but it's not enough. I put so much effort into creating hope in order. So, just like Crazy Yeti slashing his prices and passing the savings onto you, let me give you... Huh? Really? Then hurry up. Okie dokie. Like they say, seeing is believing. I'd like for you to see the outside world.
You mean the world beyond the school wall?
So something really did happen out there.
Now are you interested in what I have to... I wanna see too. See your faces sink into despair. Now then, open sesame! Behold, the world. This is the outside world you've all been so anxious to claw your way back into.
How much effort did it take to make a Monokuma, to transform the Eiffel Tower into Monokuma?
Dangerous. The world has grown so very dangerous.
What are you talking about? None of this makes any sense!
What am I looking at?
What you just saw.
You should recognize it? This whole thing is insane.
If you can't remember, please.
Better kick your brain in the ass! I don't remember! Ain't a fucking excuse no more! For the final class
Isn't that already what we've been doing?
Come on, bitches! Remember or die! What the fuck happened outside?
You want us to
It's
remember or whatever,
this,
but when it comes to that crazy, confusing video you showed us,
or this.
I don't understand a damn thing.
What's the meaning of the footage we saw? Is this another one of your practical jokes?
I mean, you're telling us to remember, but what am I supposed to be remembering?
Nobody can remember anything.
Okay, yeah, it's this.
This is the end.
For all of us! What other shit? Come on, bitches! What the fuck happened?
You want us to when it comes to that creep, I don't understand it. What's the meaning of, is this another one of...
I mean, what am I supposed to...
No.
No, it's wrong. Actually, she might remember.
Who might remember?
The other turtle, Genocide Jack. The two of them share certain kinds of knowledge.
I see. Then even if one personality's forgotten...
What do you say, Toko?
Are you telling me to swap places?
And why wouldn't...
No!
Toko, you're the only one.
Da-da-da-da-da! It's me, your friendly neighborhood serial killer.
Why wouldn't she tell us before?
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know anything about this video?
Huh? What video?
The video that's playing right now.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, I'm the mastermind.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
That's enough. Just look at the stupid screen.
Aye, aye, Roger.
It's gotta show this fucking animation every time.
Well, I don't have all the details, but of course it does!
Then you remember all the stuff it's showing?
Why didn't you tell us?
So you didn't lose your memory
We've had
after
4
Why didn't
trials.
you say something earlier? I only answer questions when someone bothers to ask me. I'm the quiet type, you know? Oh my god, she's the worst liar in the world.
More importantly, if you really do remember...
She just
what
does
is
a
it?
little trolling.
What's the matter, mister? Do you really not remember the tragedy?
The tragedy?
Oh no! You seriously forgot? Maybe I can help you remember. That kiss.
What you do with that tongue, though?
Just answer the question. What happened out there?
Well, I can't really say if it happened or if it's still happening, but it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
The
Why is that
biggest.
phrase coming up now?
Because it's all because of that event.
What is?
Are you serious? I'm talking about the way the world is.
Is now?
The world's been destroyed. Get it?
Explain yourself. Tell us everything you know.
Copy that, darling. Okay, so this big, awful, tragic event, they started just calling it the tragedy, happened about a year ago. It was so big and so bad that even this murderous fiend went pale at the sight of it. I guess you could say what happened was... But it was more on the level of a worldwide net. Either way, there's no doubt that it was the biggest,
The
most awful,
biggest.
most tragic event in human history. And as a result, in basically no time flat, the world turned out the way it did, and that's that.
That's all there is to it? Come on.
Well, it just so happens I don't know any of the specifics. Miss Moreau saw it all play out in real time, so why don't you ask her?
We already did, and she didn't know anything. That's why we're asking you.
I couldn't live up to Master's expectations! To die!
Okay, that's enough of your little lover's quarrel. Whatever happened doesn't matter at this exact point in time, right? The end justifies the means. Everything serves the outcome. The world has ended. That's the important thing.
How could the world just end? It's the world.
Calm down. It's okay. Every living person will be dead in 100 years anyway. So the world ending isn't that big a deal.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being ridiculous.
Well, as long as we're being ridiculous. It's the story of the Togami Corporation, which has given Byakuya's life.
What? What did you say?
I'm glad to see you took the bait. You bit into it like a middle-aged secretary at an all-you-can-eat cake buffet.
Hey!
What?
So, what do you think happened to the Togami family?
done, peasant.
But I didn't say anything yet.
But I did, I
I got
answered.
so fucking bored waiting, I couldn't help it. Even if you're wrong, eventually you'll figure it out, right? Till then, you're just going in circles.
So, no matter what you pick, you get the right answer. Pretty innovative, don't you think?
But do you think it might be a disease? Getting bored so easy, I mean. Do you think I might be...
Anyway, like I was saying, Byakuya's entire lineage has been totally annihilated.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
I can confirm that his entire family has died. Even the distant relatives. The Tagami name has perished.
Stop with these idiotic jokes!
Stop! And said with such authority. A peasant would dare challenge us? The avatar of divine punishment?
What?
You must learn your place, peasant. You are no longer the ultimate affluent progeny.
They couldn't possibly be gone! The Togami family is destined to guide the world!
Hell, there is no world anymore, remember? It got fucked a full year ago.
Hold on. That doesn't make any sense.
Huh? That don't make sense.
There's no way that happened a year ago. I mean, we only came to this school a few weeks ago. If some kind of world-ending event happened a year ago, then how do you explain the totally normal world we were living in up till then?
Have you considered the possibility that you're mistaken about that?
How did we look the same, like, 2 years ago and now? Like, we saw the flashback of us entering Hope's Peak, right? And we look the exact goddamn same we do now. Like, we didn't grow at all or any shit.
Well, if I'm understanding you right, it sounds like you think the tragedy happened a year before you...
Well, yeah. I mean, like he said, we just got here a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago? Ooh, I get it. You're saying that what happened 2 years ago actually happened more recently, right?
Huh? 2 years ago?
Well, I mean, you guys all started attending Hope's Peak Academy 2 years ago.
What the hell is this?
I understand why you'd have trouble accepting it. But in the end,
This reveal was done a lot better in the anime. Like, Monokuma's like, oh, those 2 years really slipped away from you, didn't it?
everything is cause and effect. Deny that, and you may as well give yourself up to God.
So, you must sure... What are the memories I took from you?
Come now, answer us. Answer.
I just...
So we have to answer somehow. The memories that were stolen from us. What Junkus is true, but... So the memories we took from us were...
I got it! If we then we've all lost our memories of the last 2 years after coming to this school.
Nope. Nope. No. Nope.
No.
I mean, no matter what anyone says,
Another correct answer. Well done,
Why did it make the
peasant.
wrong
Seriously?
answer
This
sound?
routine again?
We've lost 2 years worth of memories?
That's right. You've already spent, and that entire period of time is...
I don't remember the last 2 years of my life. That's not possible.
I want to think that too. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. I want it to be impossible. But if it's the truth, then we have to accept it.
Worth of memories. I could never lose something like that.
We've been living here for 2 years? Hell no! That's impossible! I mean, I haven't gone to any awesome school events or anything! Heck, I've never even gone to a single...
No, it's wrong.
Gotcha. Alright.
Hiro, there's something I'd like you to take a look at. This notebook right here.
Huh? Hey!
I found it in the locker room on the 2nd floor. If you don't mind, could...
Sure, whatever you want. but I've never seen this notebook before in my life.
Wizza, is something wrong?
Wizza!
Kinda similar. This is absolutely my handwriting, without a doubt. But how is this? I don't remember ever writing in this thing. No.
Sorry, I'm getting
No
Discord
way.
notice.
It looks like you actually
I'm gonna put
did
it-
attend class here at Hope's Peak. But somehow, you forgot all about it.
Lies! It's all one big lie!
I don't want to believe it either. But there's also no explanation for this pocketbook.
And whose pocketbook is that?
It's mine. And the handwriting inside is also mine. There's no doubt about it. But just like Hiro, I have no memory of ever writing in it.
And the reason for that is the 2 years of missing memories?
After seeing all the evidence, do you have any choice but to acknowledge the truth?
Isn't it just so desperately dark? The mystery solved, but it's like a goddamn funeral in here. Shit, man! I've never been to a funeral! Hell yes!
You've never been to a funeral as the ultimate despair?
How many moments of blossoming youth have you missed out on? How many fun classes? How many school events? This was your chance to build lasting friendships, right? And on top of that, something tragically sad happened 1 year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Right before everyone's eyes, the world came crashing down. You absorbed all that despair.
The biggest.
And you forgot it all. And once you've forgotten, you made the choice to subject yourselves to this killing game. Oh, and there's one other thing. To be even more precise, the memories you all lost were...
Actually, never mind. I'm bored. Explaining stuff is boring.
What?
We are bored of this world. Everyone always talks big, declaring all the great things they'll do. But then they always fizzle out. This world is just so desperately fucking boring!
What are you talking about?
Because of your
In a
talent.
way, and to give yourself over so completely to such stimulating despair.
Yeah, so figure out the rest for yourselves. I'm sick of expositioning all this.
Figure out where your memories come apart.
Oh, that's what you meant by the entrance ceremony. I thought you meant the real entrance ceremony.
I lost my memory. When I first came when I passed out, I was over.
Wow, you still have enough. So I don't know much about the deep. And your sense of time got all messed up because of the memory loss after that? I guess it must have been something like that.
After I passed out, I woke up in a classroom. I assumed not much time had passed.
But instead,
The reason it felt so short was because
You got it, honey. 2 years of memories? Poof, gone. Which
Poof.
means, of course,
When everyone met for the first time, unaware of this fact, you took the time to introduce.
But by that point, we'd already spent 2 years together at the school. That's what those photos reveal.
you were all such close friends. And it was all so you could escape into a world that's already been annihilated. What a terribly tragic tale. Even if you left now, there's nothing you could do to fix it.
You're the one who set things up to be like this!
I love you all so much.
What?
Once your school life here began, I thought about you constantly. It's only natural that I would fall in love.
So, since I love you guys so much, I'll tell all about the idea we came up with as the ultimate despair. Let's go back in time 2 years back to when everyone first came to this school. School life during that first year overflowed with hope and happiness. Oh boy, it was just the worst. Everyone was enjoying themselves so much. You were all having the time.
But that couldn't last forever, of course. The peaceful... Because after that, an event unfolded that hammered a soul-crushing despair into all of humanity.
The biggest.
The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. All too soon, the world's days of peace came to a bloody end. And as you can imagine, the school was no exception. The tragedy even made its way here, leading to the extermination of...
What are you? The most tragic event in human history. I can't believe it's all because of just you and Mukuro. Was it some kind of organization?
You have a point. It was none of those. How can I put it? Despair is contagious, you know. It's almost like a natural phenomenon. Everyone is capable of it, and now the entire world has fallen into despair.
In other words, if you see despair as the enemy, then your enemy is the world itself.
I just don't understand why.
We didn't ask you to try to understand. This was a tangent anyway.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. Hope's Peak had taken so much damage.
This
You
is
guys
very
were the only
exposition-y
survivors.
in the trial. Like, I'm fine with it, but I get why some people don't like the trial
Members of the
sixes for
78th
being so
class of Hope's Peak
exposition-y.
Academy.
And then something super neat happened. Now pay attention, so guess what? To protect everyone who had survived, Hope's Peak was transformed into a shelter. That's right. It was transformed into a shelter. I said it twice.
Now, someone was responsible for that transformation. Do any of you know who that might have been?
The one who turned
I got it!
the Prime Minister.
Could only been
It's him.
Headmaster. He wanted to turn the school into a shelter to try and protect us. To protect us from the despair and tragedy taking place outside. That's why he asked us to make that promise, to say that we were willing to live in this school forever.
We believe he had something like that in mind, yes. If you, the collective hope of a new generation, could survive, maybe the...
Now, the headmaster...
And because we had that same hope, that's why we all agreed to live here.
But creating the shelter was also his single biggest mistake. It's laughable, really. He was the headmaster, but he had no idea that we, the ultimate despair, had already made our way into the school. So what was supposed to be a shelter to keep you
Because
safe?
he's stupid. It was obviously Junko, and it's all because of fucking Juzo Sakura's fault.
That made it impossible for you to escape despair. I have to say,
By the way, it was you yourselves who blocked off the windows, the doors, all the exits. Under the headmaster's direction, you all went about your work like obedient little sheep.
You mean we trapped ourselves in here?
And then you forgot all about it and started bitching about how you were trapped in here.
once you'd finished building your little shelter, it was time for me and Mukuro to get... And thus began the killing game.
Me and Mukuro had come here, spending the last 2 years waiting for that moment.
That moment where you all began killing each other served as the climax of our global despair plan.
And the only reason you survived the tragedy was so that you could be a part of it.
You let us live, so we could go around killing each other?
Why? Why would you do that?
Because this was so much more than a simple high school deathmatch. Rather, it was a method to hunt down and destroy every last remaining speck of hope in the world.
What are you saying?
Well, it would seem that there's a little bit left out there. Few souls unwilling to give up hope. So I thought I should show them.
What the mastermind did to show us. Fuck. Fuck.
Now I understand. You're talking about you hijacking the air.
Uh-huh. That's exactly what I'm talking about. To show the world the murders taking place at this school, which was meant to be a symbol of hope.
That was the whole point of the ultimate despair. When I said climax, that was what I was talking about. The world watched as you fell into despair and began to kill each other one after another. Despair is as contagious as any disease. Any hope left turns to despair.
Isn't the power of television just amazing? By the way, since we started broadcasting, a whole bunch of people...
Are you... But utilizing the heavy weaponry I installed around the school grounds, I had no problem expelling them. I have to thank you all. They were a relentless bunch, refusing to give up on hope and try. But in the end, I was able to give them the final despair.
So you just used us? To bring despair?
Well, sure, but I also gave you a second chance at life, right? So it's like, give and take.
Give and take? You're so full of
shit! Let's fucking go, Makoto.
There's a reason I chose you guys to survive when all the other students
You could have one swear as a gift. The precious boy may have one swear as a gift.
I mean, we built up 2 years of memory.
Sorry, that's a lie. I just figured you'd despair even more.
And that's the truth. Which is what you wanted, right? You solved the mystery, but despair at the truth, right?
Don't tell me. Did you seriously count on the possibility that we...
And if we did? Our final desire for creating this world of despair was so we could experience one last class trial. If you were bold enough to solve the mystery, only how would you react?
See? Discovering the truth doesn't necessarily lead to a sense of hope.
Truth can be full of despair, too. Like right fucking now.
Not to
Full
mention
despair, that.
all those motives I talked about. I mean, with the world having ended and all.
Meaningless? You've been murdering each other? And think about it. You chose to lock yourselves up here, then started murdering.
We weren't just random strangers either. We were classmates. We'd spent 2 years together.
No, even I can't laugh at that.
Why is Genocide Jill like so much more entertaining than Toko?
We get it, okay? We're totally awesome, right? We get it already.
Yes.
So help us. I'll do anything.
A peasant begging for his life? Oh, how delightful! We've never witnessed such a travesty firsthand.
But I'm sorry to say, begging doesn't work on me. All I want is despair, and since there's no reason, there's no argument against it. There's just no understanding it. No argument, no understanding. What better definition of...
Wait, hold on. You've just been going on about whatever, but there's no real reason for us to believe anything you have to say.
Huh?
You say the world's fallen apart, but I haven't seen it for myself, so I don't acknowledge it. I don't accept it as the truth.
I mean, Genocide Jack already told us that.
Until you see it with your own eyes. Truth and falsehood overlap one another. In other words,
Schrodinger's...
you're not unlike Schrodinger's cat right now. If so,
What are you saying? You won't accept the truth until you can go outside? Well, you better not. You go out, trust me. I'm not lying about any of this.
Well, even if it's all true, I refuse to give in. I refuse to lose to you.
Junko, Makoto, enemies to lovers.
Everyone you've killed.
Huh? Everyone I've killed? What are you talking about? You're the ones who killed them.
I didn't kill anyone. I simply gave you a little nudge in the right direction.
And that's all it took for you to start killing each other. You're nothing but bloodthirsty animals.
Junko, not Junko, enemies to lovers is
That's why anyone was murdered here, peasant.
so good.
Say what you want about hope, but we're all creatures of instinct, right?
Hell yes! That's funny as shit!
That's fucking...
No! This isn't just some game to us. It's murder! Plain and simple. You stole our memories. Invented reasons for us to do it. You pushed us. It's all your fault!
You certainly have a talent for passing the buck, don't you? That must be your hope, huh? But we don't have much time left to keep up this banter. We have to draw things to a close soon.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the vote, of course. You didn't forget about that little rule, did ya? Oh, and also, since this will be the last vote, I decided to change the rule.
What?
You guys so full of hope, and me so full, I've decided to have you vote which one will be punished. If even one of you votes to punish Hope, I'll consider that a win for me, and punish everyone on the side of Hope.
It's just one person?
Oh, but don't worry, I won't be voting, of course.
Even if you don't, you've still got the upper hand in all this.
But is it not voting against the rules?
It's okay. Nobody would actually vote to kill themselves, right?
Oh, let me just mention one more thing. When I win, to punish you guys, you'll have to stay here till you grow old and die. No fighting, no killing. That's your punishment.
You mean we just...
We'd have to just live.
She's saying she'll let us live.
If you're not happy with that, then go ahead and punish me.
Enter a world fallen from grace, where only despair exists.
What are you saying? So no matter what, we're doomed.
Wait a sec. I just got hit with an inspiration bomb. Dying of old age is boring as shit, right? The audience at home isn't gonna dig that at all. So, here's what'll happen. One of you will get to experience an instant, super impressive punishment.
What? You can't just...
Do you mean to say you'll execute one of us?
And I get to decide who's gonna have to suck it down. Makoto, you're up.
I mean, like...
Me? Yeah, you've been acting up, causing all kinds of trouble. I hate you!
Oh, I love you too,
So
Junko.
let me make this clear. Everyone has two choices in front of them. If a single person votes for Hope to be punished, then only Makoto will receive a harsh punishment, and the rest of you will...
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all...
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths.
What I'm saying is, if you sacrifice Makoto, the rest of you will get to live out your lives.
Sacrifice me?
What?
But that's...
Has your resolve softened? Have you lost? Don't you have faith in your friend?
No, that's not it.
It's okay. You're right to be afraid. It would seem all of those around you have realized the futility.
It's so beautiful. You're lovely.
Besides, Yoko, you could never betray your father, could you?
What?
I mean...
The headmaster's only wish was that all of you would survive, right?
Doesn't she hate her
That's
father?
why you tried to track? The least you can do is try to honor your dead father.
Kyoko!
One person's despair is enough to seal your fate. Isn't that just the most hopeless outcome ever?
So
No one. No, but we're not gonna lose to you!
So boring. Stubborn till the very end, huh? Well, that's fine. Then let's just hurry up and get it over with. It's time for the final vote. And your stupid life!
Love you too, Juko.
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy.
Shoot!
I missed.
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope.
Fuck, I missed.
By the way, the air outside is totally polluted now.
The only reason we're is thanks to the air.
Shoot! We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's.
There we
There's
go.
hope now.
All my fortune-telling senses are telling me nothing. But to live means moving forward, right? So even if it's hard,
Haven't you played hit
if
game
we're
The World
scared,
Ends With You?
we don't have any choice. I want to keep on living. I want to open the next door. There must be something new waiting for me. So that's why. No matter what, I need to get out of here. The whole fortune-telling thing doesn't matter anymore. What matters is my
The anime makes Makoto so much more badass. Like,
As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of.
I decided to have faith in my...
By the way, the air outside, the only reason we're okay is thanks to the air purifiers in the.
Don't lose hope now.
I've been thinking about all this, and I was thinking, at a time like this, what would Sakura do? You only get stronger by taking adversity by the horns. Confront that thorny path with enthusiasm. That sounds like something she'd say, right? No. I think that's definitely what she'd say. Which is why Yeah! I've made up my mind!
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die,
That would be the end of.
I decided to have faith...
By the way, the air outside is totally cold. The only reason we're up is thanks to the air purifier.
say whatever you want. I've made my decision. If I die, the purifiers will screech to a halt. In other words, as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come to an end.
man. Fuck.
All of you will have to. You'll have to go into the world outside. So, will you just die?
Oh shit, I lose a...
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give.
If I were to die, that would be the end of.
I decided to have.
By the way, the air outside, the only reason we're up is thanks to the air pure. Say whatever you want. If I die, the pure, in other words, at the communal life you've all been living will come to an end.
Man. Fuck, I missed. Did I not grab hope?
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of.
I decided to have.
By the way, the air outside, the only reason we're up is thanks to the air pure. Say whatever you want. If I die, the pure, in other words, as the communal life you've all been living will.
Don't lose hope now.
Man.
I don't care either way. I'm fine with whichever one is more interest. Actually, I may not look like
long as there's hope, we'll never give.
If I were to die, that would be the end.
I decided to have.
By the way, the air outside, the only reason we're up is thanks to the air pure. Say whatever you want. If I die, the pure, in other words, at the communal life you've all been, I can keep on living as long as I have my master. All of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death and despair are awaiting.
Don't lose hope now.
What's the matter? You're not actually trying to encourage me, are you?
Okay, Tsundere.
It never even crossed my mind that I must, but don't misunderstand me. I couldn't care in the slightest what happens to you. I just have to keep my word. I swore I would end the life of the master. Besides, the Togami family isn't dead. So until I can restore the Togami family and bring it greater glory than it's ever known,
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end.
I decided to.
By the way, the air outside is totally polluted. The only reason we're up is thanks to the air pure. Say whatever you want. If I die, the pure, in other words, the communal life you've all been, I can keep on living. As long as all of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside.
I already said I would claim the mastermind's life, by whatever means necessary.
So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you want?
Don't lose hope now.
I didn't really know my father, so I can't pretend to know what he was thinking. But even if we're just connected by blood, there's one thing I am. He would never want us to abandon Makoto and choose to stay here. I can't explain why exactly. But if I'm sure of anything, just because we don't actually know anything, could it be that... No, never mind. So, Makoto,
You don't even
I
need
don't think you
evidence.
wound up at this school because you had good luck. I think you came here for a different reason entirely. You came here to bring down the ultimate despair. You came here to confront despair without ever giving up. And if that's true, I think we could call you the ultimate hope.
What the hell are you? So on your stupid faces, the stupid things you've said, the stupid way you all treat
Wanna
each
join
other,
us?
so uncool, so unhip. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Lame, 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 lame.
I'm not even kind of believe anything. Hope is an talent you develop, but I still.
You suck. So uncool. You dare to stand against us. Hope is a joke. Your idiocy ends here. You're gross. I just love despair. You suck. So uncool. You're unbearable. Hope is a joke.
Would you like to die?
You're gross. Everything is pointless. Suffer from despair. You're unbearable. You dare to stand against her? No. You suck. So uncool. You dare to stand against us? Hope is a joke. Your idiocy ends here. You're gross. Suffer from despair. I just love despair. You suck. So uncool. You're unbearable. Hope is a joke.
Would you like to die?
You're gross.
This minigame sucks!
Everything is pointless. Suffer from despair. You're unbearable.
Despair into tomorrow.
Hope keeps on going. I refuse to give up. I refuse to get bored. I refuse to throw it all away. I refuse to despair. Because all
Let's
I
fucking
have
go,
is
Makoto.
the desire to keep moving forward.
the anime makes it so much more badass.
What's happening?
B. That's a fucking A rank. That's what we'd like to fucking
It looks
see.
like we've reached the end.
We just gotta pull the lever. Right?
Good.
Let's put an end to these trials. Put an end to the killing with our own hands.
The hell?
Indeed.
You've lost, Junko.
Lost?
I lost me? No way. I can't lose. You still don't accept it? Even the ultimate despair herself is vulnerable to the onslaught of despair, it would seem. But there's no use trying to fight it now.
That's just totally the best!
Huh?
This is despair.
We came to the school 2 years ago and created our incredibly detailed plan. I even killed my own sister for it. To come this far and fail at the very end, it's the ultimate despair.
And now I...
Couldn't you see I was so hopelessly desperate? I was bored of the world. This is what I've been looking forward to so desperately. This is one in a lifetime experience. It's my first and last colossal despair here in the moment of despair. To have the chance to taste the highest grade of despair, the utter failure of my dreams.
Despair.
I'm so hopelessly happy right now. Wait, is she enjoying this? Saw you prepared to admit your defeat. Do you think that whether I care whether I won or lost, it doesn't change a thing? Outside is only despair, where inside is only despair. No matter where you go, despair waits you. That's not true. You're wrong.
Don't make me repeat
Let me
myself.
tell you this right now. We no longer fear despair. Because we decided to enter the outside world with hope. Yeah, Makoto totally seduced us over to his side.
Hey,
He said that despair is contained inside a disease, but the same true is hope. All I have to do is look at us to see how true that is.
No.
Stop it! I hate those faces you're making. To see this awful look causes me nothing but pain. If you guys want to get hung up on the world over, don't skin off me, but just be warned. From this point on, one despair after another will stand in your way. No matter where you run, no matter where you hide, maybe you'll find some hope, but there's a very fine line dividing the hope from despair. Knowing that, you still plan to cling to hope? Of course.
It's fine.
Shut up. That was a rhetorical question. You interrupted my monologue. I'm almost done though, so whatever. Because it's almost punishment time, right? Do you really intend to go through with this? That was the agreement. Hold on, it's not like I want you to die. You don't have to. Makoto's like, I can fix her, and you know what? I bet he could. I bet he could. If anyone can do it, it's Makoto fucking Nayagi.
Stop it! How many times do I have to tell you?
The act of living brings me no hope at all. All I want to do is taste that despair of death.
So this is how the despair of death feels. It's so wonderful. Even a tenth of this despair. I want every last soul on this planet to taste such despair. I want the entire world to die with that despair in its mouth. Okay, let's do this. I've reserved an extra special punishment for last. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I've said this in my Danganronpa exit. Did I skip it? I didn't know those were skippable. Oh, whoops. My bad. Anyway, my thoughts on the execution is, it's very, I don't like how they rehash all the other executions. But even after saying it was all over, it's not like the building collapsed or exploded. That wasn't the kind of ending. Nothing changed. Well, with one exception, the air purifiers turned off. That was the only difference. We left the courtroom and made our way to the main hall. Nobody made a sound. I felt almost absent-minded. This was our epilogue before the final ending. We were stuck there in limbo, but in the end...
Hey.
We can't just stand around like this forever. At some point, we need to leave.
Makoto.
Makoto, will you do the honors?
Indeed.
Is that really the key to the door? You don't have to read into what you said too much to find the answer.
If, on the other hand, you desire... I will force you out, ensuring you all...
In other words...
I'll force you out, she said just before dropping that. It makes sense that they would be our way out of here.
It's true.
You may be right about that. Maybe.
Yes.
But even so, it's impossible to think that we wouldn't take our chances with it. There's nothing to worry about. If something ever happened to Master, I'd take my scissors and jam him so far up. Huh? Where's the courtroom? Where's the mastermind? It's all over. We're just about to leave the school. Leave, we can go outside, that means me and Master can get married and he'll give me... What?
That's enough.
Please stop. That would be a greater horror than anything that I've encountered so far. Anyway, don't worry. I have no doubt that we'd be able to leave without a problem. What happens after I get out? In the end, I think a part of me still thinks maybe we get out of here with the everything you changed out of the world. Maybe that on the other side of the shore is a world as peaceful as we remember. Since it's so big, there might be some kind of despair, but there also has to be lots of hope, right? The act of searching for hope, to try and find it, that itself is the true meaning of hope. As long as you have the hope, you can keep moving forward.
Am I wrong?
Is that what you mean, Makoto? Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't need any of you to spell that out for me. You know, Chico mentioned that there were others out there who couldn't cast away hope. Maybe I should find them and make them work for me. To rebuild the world, we must first rebuild the Togami dynasty.
You got it!
Well, my first stop is going to be the closest donut shop. I can figure out the rest in there. And what are you going to do with the other donut shops? I get it now. If there's no road, you just build one. Creation. Fate is telling me to remake the world. That's my hope. I've reached the next stage. The next chapter of Yasuo, your God Creator's life story is about to begin. Thanks, Hina. You totally opened my eyes.
Makoto.
In the outside world is seed of despair. As long as I have people like you around, I can face forward and keep going. But what can we do? There's so few of us and we're so small, so what can we do? Probably can't do anything. We probably can do anything. Yeah, we can do anything.
Well, I guess this is goodbye. And goodbye to Sakura. But hey, if we gotta say goodbye, we may as well do it with a smile on our face.
Hey guys! You guys want your fortunes told anywhere, anytime. You just let me know. I'll be there.
Are you still trying to make your
You know how
sales
much I
pitch?
hate being annoyed, but if something does come up, you may as well let me know. I can't guarantee I'll actually bother listening, but, you know.
I don't know why, but I might be able to pull it off. A story about Master and me. And the others, I guess.
I can't say I'm sorry about what happened, but still.
I really don't know what to say. I guess we graduated?
Makoto, you're so cheesy. It looks like hope really is spreading. As long as I never give up, I have to push even harder. As long as I have hope, since I have hope, I can move ahead. The world can move ahead. Wait, this bangs. Look, there it is. Mukuro Ikusaba.
Interesting. Things are getting
I really like this.
very interesting.
Because, like, who is controlling him?
Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a teddy bear. I am Monokuma. And I am this school's headmaster.
Alright, thank you all very much for watching my Danganronpa 1 playthrough. That was fun. That was a fun thing to do. So, future endeavors. We're gonna continue Kingdom Hearts 2. We're gonna start Danganronpa 2. Tomorrow is more Rivals. I might do something in the meantime, like play Mario Kart or some shit, I don't know. I'll probably play Mario Kart in the time in between. As for future endeavors, past that, whenever Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild 2, Mario Rabbids 2, pretty much we're waiting for all the big Nintendo 2022 titles to release, because that I'm planning on doing playthroughs of all of those, so we're just waiting on those to release. And in the meantime, that's it. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to end stream now. Goodbye.